Today I'm going to talk about the addiction to screens. Um, and it's really important topic, especially today. I thought a lot about, long time ago, they didn't have that. When I grew up, I didn't have a phone. We had a television, but not really so many channels. And I played a lot outside with my friend, riding bikes, playing hide and seek, being in nature, did so many things that maybe kids are not doing today. And also maybe us as adults are not doing it anymore. So we start by talking about the damage of screens. Some movies are great. I think it's a form of art. My brother is a cinematographer, and I appreciate movies, but some are a waste of time, all kind of series that you'll not really gain anything. And social media can really damage you, and I will talk more about it in the end of the lecture. But it's damaging emotionally, mentally, and it's draining, basically. So let's first start with understanding why we are doing that. And we are exploring it with no guilt, because it's so nice when something is happening in your life to go deeper into inquiry and understanding yourself with compassion. Nothing will change if you're hard with yourself. If you're after watching, oh, I watched again 3 hours, I wasted my day, or and guilt is coming. It will not change. You think about teachers that you loved in college or high school, grade school. They inspired you, didn't punish you, right? They weren't mean to you, and you really want to go to their classes. You are more open to learn. So leaders, if you want to create any change, you need to become a leader, a kind leader, a compassionate leader. And still you understand that you have parts inside you that needs some work. And one part is the part that really want to watch that now, or to open that social media, or to see the next chapter. And let's explore together why it's happening. And the people that came live today, because many people watch the recording, uh, you can ask questions soon and bring your personal, struggle. So when I ask people why, people say things, it's boredom, or it's trying to escape. And we want to go deeper than that. What is your why? Take a minute and think about that. You decided not to waste time on that, and you find yourself again watching this thing. Why? And now I want to use the modality separation between me and myself. People say things like, I love myself, I criticize myself, I'm hard with myself. Who is the I and who is the self? The I is the mind, and the self is the heart. Yeah. The mind is saying, why? Why you are doing that? I decided not to. We have work to do. We have things that will be more healthy for us. Why? And there is emotional reason for that. And when I explore with people, um, and I have to say, I'm working with people for 22 years, and it's becoming worse, probably since COVID, or there's more things to offer, the social media and the screens offer us. I don't know, but it became worse during the years, and this subject comes again and again. And when I ask people about wine, we dive deeper. I discover this is the only time that they have quiet from their mind. Basically, it's like giving the child that is usually very problematic, putting him in front of a screen. And then, like, oh, wow, oh, not thinking about your problems, not thinking about your traumas, not stressing about work. You are busy with something else. Many parents are doing it with kids. It's like a babysitter, right? Your kids is this, give him a screen. And then everything stops. All the drama, all the meltdowns. It's not a good solution. But this is a solution that human being can find. And it's available every time, every moment, in the night, in the early morning. You don't need to make an effort. You just need to click. Yeah. So it's so easy. And the why can be so many answers that you find when you track it. I promised solution today, and one of the solutions is to track it, to take a tracker. You can do it on a notebook, you can open a file and track it again without criticism. In the end of the day or in the morning, you can track back how much time you watched and what happened before. This is the most important thing. What happened before? And you will discover that something happened before. Some people feel a lot of anxiety or stress and they need, it's relaxing because you are taking a break again from your problems. Other people have sadness and they're trying to numb it. And you feel sadness and you go, relief from my pain. And there's so many reasons that this is why I'm saying a tracker can really help because then you'll discover so many things and then there is work to do. There is work to do. So going back to the mind and heart separation. So many times it's emotional. The heart is saying, I need a break from my mind. Back then it was cigarettes. So it was very, very popular. People smoked a lot. Before they knew it's not so healthy. And they took a cigarette break at work because they didn't like their work. Let's say somebody is working in a job and you don't like your job. So you take a cigarette break, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. It's hours, by the way, if you take it every, and people just smoked for a break. Today it's screens. So you are working, but you have also on your laptop another, open movie, series, social media, something, a game, just to take a break, to take a break. So this is the new break. And it's efficient because it can be, 5 minutes, can be 2 hours. It's available and you can do it during work. So this is why, first of all, it's a solution for many people today because so many people are working with laptops and computers. Um, and again, I'm smiling because I want you also to take it as an opportunity to grow and inquire without being hard with yourself, right? Because we are here to grow. And I think this is the right mindset of people that are doing a lot of progress in their work. We are taking it because we want to know more, because we don't want just to do things automatically, because we don't want to be like everyone else in the world. Most of the population have this addiction, right? And back then, when there are no screens, so people were addicted to food or to sleep or to shopping or to drugs, right? So today it's screens. Today we talk about screens because in this era, screens are there all the time. And now everything is even more. We're getting more opportunities there. And I'm not against that. I think it's amazing. I can Google everything. I can learn so much, right? There is also a lot of advantages there. So we don't want, when somebody have addiction to alcohol, what they're doing with the 12 steps, they're cleaning everything. Okay, I don't want to see a bottle. I don't, right? They're cleaning everything from their home and they're not drinking and all the bottles and everything, not going to bars. We cannot clean the screens. The internet gives us a lot of wisdom. I'm using it for English now with the AI, correcting my, it's my second language. It's really helpful because sometimes, it takes me a lot of time to write in a second language and to check myself and to learn. So basically, I'm learning faster. Kids are asking me a question I don't know. Just a minute, let's read about it. My kid is very, very academic, and I learned that in order to work with him, I need to let him read stuff. So I want him to eat less sugar. So I printed articles why sugar is not good. So basically, it's helpful, and we need that, but we want to to find the right time that is good for us, and it's different from person to person. So it's not more to cut; it's easier to cut. When I worked back then with people that smoked a lot, I didn't move from one package to nothing. We moved from one package a day to three because there are three that were really important for them. One with the coffee, one in the evening. And this is harder. It's easier to move from all to nothing. And that's what people do. let's say eating. They eat whatever and then they go to a program and suddenly they're in a program, right? And then they're 1% there and they're losing weight, but then again, they're gaining weight. So basically, we are going from black to white. We are going from all to nothing. And what we want is to find the leadership inside, to find the middle way, the balance. And this is why it's the most important thing to have that, but to know when to say no. Saying no from the mind will not help because the mind is not like the nice teacher. It's more like the critic, the policeman, the jailer, the strict father, that you don't want. So it will not work. It will be back and forth. The mind will say no, then you will sneak and, take it to bed and do, in the night and just forget the time. And there is no time suddenly. The heart is no time. It's always now. So who will keep the time? Right? You just dive into that and it's a parallel universe. Now we are not against that. Also, books can be escape. Books that we love so much. Some I learned from clients that some see, escape. I have one story of a student that his parent died when he was 10 and he started to read a lot at school, at recess, everywhere, and we discovered it was escape. He couldn't handle his pain. So everything we do too much, even though it's good, it's an escape. Okay, I hope you agree with me. If not, write me, email me, write in the chat. So how, and this is, we can have it in front of us all the time, but decide not to touch it, even though for the heart can be so fun. Video games, for people, it's so fun. Movies, you forget about your problems. You forget about yourself. But I discover when we really go deeper and I ask, looking in your eyes and asking you, what do you want if you have freedom? What do you want to do? What will make you happy? Nobody will say, watch a movie. They will say, making love, walking barefoot on the beach, dancing, having more friends, maybe going to something creative, finding somebody that will see me, share my pain. I never heard when we go deeper in a session, I want to watch a movie, I want social media, because it's not what you really want. When I had the second kid, I learned that if you like, and they're fighting on something, let's say Emma wants the toy and Romy is wanting also. I told to Romy, if you want to take it, you need immediately to give her something else. If not, she'll scream like crazy. Now, what's happening? She's playing with something, and then Romy's bring her something else. She forget about the other thing. She doesn't care. We cannot take a toy from an inner kid without giving something else. This is brutal. So, what can you give to yourself instead of the screen? And you know what? The thing that you'll give to yourself will be much more meaningful to you than the screens. And this is another question I want you to explore. And you can write this question. I'm not sure the answer will come immediately now. So you have a few questions to think why you are doing that. What do you really need? What will be healthy? What do you agree on also? How many hours a day you do give to yourself? Again, it's not terrible. It's not something I want to avoid completely. Also, it's not really possible. It's not reasonable. How many hours a day is okay? Doing the tracker. Okay. And you will see that some of them it's okay. Some of the times you didn't feel any emotion, you didn't feel stress. It was great. Other times, let's work with that. And the question is, what do you really want in life? What do what do you emotionally, the heart needs? And then it's to give, and it's harder to give that than to give the screen. And now we are going also to talk about the mind, because like the adult that I told you before, some adult give screens to the kids because it's serving them. Some minds also give the screen to the heart because it's serving. You know why? It's safe. It's the safest thing you can do in your life. You sit with the screen. It's so funny that today, usually there are so many people in webinars, and today many people sign up but didn't come. And I'm happy in a way. You're not in front of the screen, but you can probably you'll listen to it when you are jogging or when you're doing something else. But the reason it's funny. But you cannot ask questions, so next time come. So coming back to that, I don't remember what I started, but I started something important. It's safe. You and your screen, nothing can happen. If you go to a date, you can be hurt. Something will happen. If you share yourself with a friend, maybe you'll get hurt because you're vulnerable, right? If you go to a class and dance, it is exposing yourself, right? It's safer to be with the screen. And this is why the protector, the mind, prefer you to watch screens than to do all the things you really want to do. So this is a trap because in a way, your mind prefer you to do it, but then it's hard to stop. So your mind says, okay, take it, but then the heart takes it for hours. The heart wants to do it because it's a break from the mind. It's the only thing the mind offer. So I will take that. Where is the third voice? We need a third voice. And the third voice brought you here today that is saying, no, I want something different. I understand, life is more than that. But what can you do? Let's say at night, people are watching a lot at night, not only during work. And then you cannot really go on to swim. You cannot really, you can go and look at the stars, but what can I do? What can replace that? And I want you to think about small things you can do. Meditation can be one of them. After a while, when you stay with me, meditation become fun. I know now it's still, something to do. It's work. So meditation can be one of them. Putting one song and dancing to a song, repeating a mantra, reading a positive book. Even if you need screens, okay, you can watch a funny series. Talk to a friend over the phone, you know. So many people, it's harder to fall asleep without a screen. They need the mind to be busy with something else and then to be really tired. And then this is so sad. The mind is not letting you rest. There is a real problem here. So there is a scale. I don't know how many hours or when do you watch. It's not even how many hours, it's when do you need to watch. And then you write in your tracker, you write like, okay, I watched today before bed, and you'll see every day, I cannot fall asleep without that. Why? I have a problem. My mind is overthinking. About what? Explore that. And then you will discover it's fear. And fears many times comes in the night. So the fear came in the night, and you needed the screen in order to calm the fear because there is no other leader inside, higher self center, to really help your mind. So basically, you have parts inside you, somebody that is sad, somebody that is afraid, that you don't really help. Yeah. So this is a sign that, in a way, you want to take responsibility and start leading those voices and have a plan. So I want you to have a plan. I want you to create a plan. And I think the plan can be after the tracker, because after the tracker, you will see how many times a day it's okay and it didn't come out of distress. And when are the times that it's distress and start to work with that. And if it's anxiety, work with anxiety. I have a webinar about that. If it's anger, work with the anger. If it's fear, work with your fear. If it's stress, work with your stress. But it means there is deeper work to do. And which one you'll tell me. Okay. I want to open for question, but before I want to say, because I said it before, but I didn't record that, the damage of social media is huge. I just finished a session with someone that saw something in social media and it started to be repeated in his mind, and it became a trauma and also a fear it will happen to him. And this is only one person. I just finished a session, so it's alive, but I meet it so much in the last few years that people are in trauma. And I don't know if you know the effect that it's having in on your body. So some people are really living their life here and they are not sensitive to their body. I'm working a lot with meditations and I'm connected. And I deleted my social media since the war started. And once a week, I'm uploading the Facebook. It's crazy because I'm like uploading it, and then I want to read everything that happened to family, friends, and to be up. It's like my news, but I'm not doing it in the morning. I can't. If I will do it in the morning, I will not be able to help people. It's too much. And then in the evening, I'm once a week. I'm saying to my husband, today's Facebook night, and I'm suffering a lot. I want to throw up. I'm crying a lot. Um, there's a lot of suffering there. And I'm watching everything, writing whatever I need to people and deleting it again, cleaning myself after taking a shower, meditating, doing everything, that I will teach you to do. And then I'm going to bed, and I'm sleeping much worse. It's really my worst night out of the week, but I'm preparing to that. Um, and it's like I hope you don't, for example, read news. Reading news, it's like the money saying I want to be updated. It's all negative, and you're feeding yourself negativity and suffering. Suffering is contagious. When you sit with a friend and your friend is sharing something negative, you're a good friend and you are listening and it's good, but it's draining you. After that, you are drained and you are tired. When you're watching news or when you are on a social media and negative things, you are draining yourself, you are hurting your inner child, and it's really hurtful emotionally. It can also come into your pain body, create stress. It's not healthy. So basically, imagine a young child, and before bed, you are telling him all the bad things that happen in the world, all kinds of people's story, and then good night. You'll never do that, right? That's what you're doing for yourself. So I'm not sure if you're aware of the damage. And maybe in the tracker, you can write also another column of what did you feel after. So one, it's what happened before, my thoughts, my feelings. Then how long you watched and how did you feel later? More charged, energetic, more tired. And you will learn what is charging you and what is not. Sometimes it's a nice movie. Still takes energy a little bit because you did something, but everything takes energy. But other times you'll say, wow, it's trained me. And you will learn more about yourself. So I want you to do it. And again, I will say many people judge themselves about that and criticize themselves about that. Oh, I didn't work enough. I didn't do enough. I wasn't present. Again, this is not the way. Then you are punishing yourself and over a punishment because being stuck in a screen is punishment. So basically, this is not the way. Stop doing that. Okay. We want to really go deeper and take it as a project to learn more, to read more about that, and to check with yourself. All the information and the answers we have inside. So I want you to bring more information and to understand it more. Okay. And then we can work with that. Meditation can help with finding the higher self, the leader, the adult, the kind, compassionate adult that can create change because somebody needs to say to those voices, not now. Yeah. Um, it's not the right time, or let's do something else, like pulling them out to a different thing with a soft voice. In meditation, when you sit long enough in a way every day for a while, you discover this being that is not your young mind or heart. And then from this space, you can really guide yourself. Do you really need it right now? What do you really need? Do you need to cry? Do you need to call a friend? Do you feel lonely? And this is why you are with the screen because you don't want to be alone. Some people are like in bed and two of them on different screens. Many couples. This is the first thing I'm talking to couples about. Look, if you take a photo of two people laying down with these different screens, how do you feel about that? It's connection. It feels so lonely and cold. What do you need right now? To tickle your partner? To give a hug? To put the screen away and do something more interesting? Or a board game, I meant. So basically, when you observe from the side, is it the right thing? But this voice of the center will grow in meditation. And then you can really choose basically moments in your life. Also, another thing is to decide how much time after you do the tracker, we need a program. And the program will be okay, so how many hours a day I do watch? Again, we don't want to take it completely. It's not reasonable. If you give something, you cannot take it back completely. Video game, okay, now I know video game exists in the world. Now I'll never touch it again? No, it's not reasonable. How much time am I going to do that? Right? And then to stick to that by putting a timer. Because as I said before, when you are there with the screen, there is no time. You're not connected to the real time. And it's very hard to stop. So you need a timer with a nice song, or maybe you can record yourself saying, it's time to stop. Let's do something else and to decide about something fun to do later. Or just move your body or shake yourself, but close it. So basically only in meditation you will start to develop this inner voice that will lead you to something else in the right way, in the kind way. Meditation, when I say meditation, there are many different kind of meditations. I will have a webinar about meditation and how to choose the right practice in 2 weeks. And then we will talk about the right practice. But until then, you can do 5 minutes of closing your eyes and just saying to those voices, not now, and being in the moment. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes. Slowly, you decided. You decided now to stop everything and to meditate. This is amazing. If you decided now, or in any moment that is now, to stop everything and to sit, this is already powerful. And then you can stop everything, also screens. And this is the meaning of meditation. You sit without moving your body, and this is it. There is no more instructions. Why you don't move your body? You sit. You see when people sit, you see monks and nuns sitting, not moving. Inside, everything is moving. It's crazy. If you will put a screen, by the way, will connect the screen to their mind, it will be, all kind of movies there, horrors movies, sexual movies, things. But they're looking so beautiful. Why they don't move? Because they're saying sit like a mountain unmoved by the wind. And the mountain, snakes can come and bugs can come, but the mountain is not moving. And that's what you teach. You sit, and it doesn't matter if you have a voice, I'm hungry, or I'm itchy, or I'm tired, or when it will end, or you have memories, or you have stress, or the mind is telling you answer an email now, it's urgent, and you don't move. And this is the essence of the meditation, because you're not reactive, you're moving even your hands. And then after, when you'll hear those voices, I want screens, I want that, I want to watch, no, not now, with half a smile, not now. So it's not possible, and I will say it like that, it sounds extreme. It's not possible to create change without a practice. In the end of the webinar, I will stay to talk about a discovery journey. The discovery journey is a journey that I teach how to strengthen your center. I talk a lot, and I'm going to share the link here. I talk a lot about the mind and the heart, about all kind of things like fear and anger and pleasing others and all the things that is our personality preventing us from being loyal to ourselves and what we really need and want. So I want to invite you to do the work actually, and to meditate and to do the work in the discovery journey. This is the first door of people to work with me. Some people have criticism on their partner if they are watching a lot. And she's telling me, I don't want him to watch so much. I feel not seen. He's not there with me. But I'm telling her, listen, you're asking him or her to do a lot of inner work, to stop, watching too much. And it's like really doing work, like we talked, about overcoming, your mind, your heart, your thoughts, your feelings, discovering your needs, sitting meditation. Just to say, stop with screens in the evening, this is a lot to ask. If not screens, something else you will do instead, because there is a need. So it will go into food, it will go into sleep. So it'll go into shopping or alcohol or cigarettes or something, just to avoid the mind and to numb the feelings. Okay. And last thing I want to say is about kids. That is another message that I'm in world of education, because this is like a, a belief that kids not supposed to have phones and not to watch too many movies. And they don't watch. My kids that are 8 and 12, and they're watching once a week. And again, I'm very specific about what they're watching, which movie. They don't play video games, they don't have a phone. But basically they don't have a phone, and also the class, like most of the kids don't have a phone. If they will be in another school when kids have phones and all the class have phones, I will buy them a phone because it's already become social, and it's a problem. But in our school, the parents, most of the parents are on board for sure in second grade and sixth grade also. And my son knows he will get a phone or in eighth or in ninth grade, uh, because we know how much it takes from us. First of all, the imagination. If you give a movie of a princess and what kind of movies for kids, then they read a book. And when they read a princess or a knight, they have the image already. You didn't give them a chance to imagine. And the beautiful, they can imagine so many beautiful things. And you see in the world of education how the kids play imaginary games until really late in their lives, because they like to play imaginary games to build a scene, and they do it in all kind of ways that is different because they don't have the fixed idea. So the first thing it will take from them is the imagination, and this is the difference between a movie and a book. We ask my son, um, I asked him, my husband asked him, what do you prefer, a movie or a book? And last year, it was fifth grade, and he said, I prefer a book. And he asked him why. He said, because I can imagine the way I want. I have freedom. He said, I have freedom to imagine it the way I want. And this is beautiful answer from a fifth grader, but you will not have this answer if you will be exposed to all that. Another thing it stakes is the excitement, because when you are with something so interesting like social media and everything is moving fast and you see things, so after you see a flower in, okay, you hike and you see a flower, you saw already so many flowers in Instagram, you saw houses, you saw things, so basically we are not excited from small things anymore. We need strong volumes for adventures to really move us, and this is sad. And I see my kids that they don't need a lot, and basically I think they're really happy. So I really want to promote that as well. It's part of my message, and it's very hard to take after you gave. You cannot give a phone and take it, or it's harder like to give them movies and then to say let's move into once a week. This is a war starting there. So think about that. If you already gave screens, and of course I had screens later on, my mom really loved movies, um, And it's okay. I'm not blaming you. Probably she'll watch it. I'm not blaming you. It's okay. Don't blame yourself if you did that. You didn't know. It's totally okay. Again, we don't want to work with guilt so much. We know we do what we know, and we're exposed to that only when it's bad. Today it's bad. Okay, you can see it everywhere. People are traumatized. Uh, about the war, for example, in the past, only the soldiers had shell shock. I worked with shell shock for a while until I felt it's too much for me. Today, many people have shell shock just by watching videos and testimonials. So there is more work to do, more depression, more anxiety. I think a lot of the anxiety is from social media that you see all that, and also body image problem um, that people start to have more, or eating disorder, that they see all kind of things in social media that looks different than their body. So first of all, even though you are not young, teenager, still you have young parts inside you. So you need to understand that you are really feeding yourself with all kind of information, and I want you to track it and see what is good for you and what is damaging for you. And the only one that will know is you. I will finish with a story of the Buddha. The Buddha, when he started to become a teacher, he moved from village to village and gave lectures. And he came to one village, and one of the oldest people in the village came to him after and said, Thank you so much, dear teacher. And everything you said was so wise. But every Sunday, another teacher comes and give a lecture, and everybody are so wise. But sometimes they say things that are not aligned. Who to believe? It's a good question. Whom to believe? And the Buddha said, don't believe anybody. Check for yourself. Check for yourself. The answer is within. So the only thing you need to do is to start to inquire, to write a journal, to track, to sit meditation with yourself, and the answer will come.